Now on Coast TV News.
Georgetown growth.
We have a lot of people here.
How many homes a rezoning request could bring.
Carlisle comeback.
I think it's actually pretty cool.
A 100-year-old firehouse in Milford turning into workforce housing.
Still no Stell. We're back at Legislative Hall asking questions about Representative Parker Selby's continued absence.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Potential upgrades coming to this war memorial in Ellendale. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin with the town coming together tonight.
If approved, advocates want to remove the bushes around the memorial as a first step. Coast TV News reporter Brenton Conroy joins us live there in Ellendale. And Brenton, you're at the site right now.
Maddie, I'm here at the memorial site, like you said, and follow me this way. I want to show you some of the scenery and some of the shrubs around the area, because that's what's going to be taken in the first step. They're going to remove some of those shrubs and clean up the area, as well as add irrigation, like I said, for those first steps of this project. Now, I spoke with Dale Annis, who is a veteran himself, and he's going to be working on this project with the town and alongside Bella Terra Landscaping. He tells me that this memorial site is more than just a site, it's a symbol.
To me, since many of those men never made it back home, they're buried overseas, this site is a surrogate grave. It gives the families a place to go and reflect. It gives veterans a place to go and reflect. Even though I personally never served with any of these individuals that are there, I still feel a connection to them.
While both Dale and Ashley Games from Bella Terra Landscaping tell me there's no set timeline for this project to be completed, there will be 4 phases, and they hope to clean up this area by the time Memorial Day rolls around. We'll have much more at 11. Reporting live in Ellendale, Brendan Conroy, Coast TV News.
Besides the flowers, Dale says he would also like to see a prisoner of war flag or chair along with others. They also said that they're looking to install additional flag poles. That would be to accommodate state and national flags.
New at 6, Representative Stell Parker Selby remains absent from the state legislature, months after an unspecified medical event this winter, and weeks after politicians said they looked forward to seeing Parker Selby back soon. Coast TV News reporter Zakia Jennings is live in Dover. And Zakia, you went to Legislative Hall to get some answers.
Maddie, Coast TV is committed to coming here and asking the questions that many people in the 20th District have asked us. New tonight, information shared by a Democrat on background. They cannot confirm whether or not Representative Parker Selby is working from home, but they can confirm that her constituents are getting responses. Constituents we've spoken with say they haven't heard back. They've called, they've emailed, and they have not heard back. Now, we have spoken with House Republicans who say they don't know anything new. One thing is for sure, the session is about halfway over and the district's representative has not been here one day. We'll continue to come here and press the issue. Live in Dover, Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
Some background on the absence of Stell Parker Selby. In November 2024, Parker Selby was reelected to the House for a second term. Here's what we know about her situation. Just follow me on this here. Parker Selby sent a letter in January stating she would not be present at Legislative Hall for the month. That was due to a medical event. We do not know what the medical event is, but we do know she's in a wheelchair seen on your screen now. She was not previously. She has missed over 140 votes for the 20th District. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what matters most in a local representative.
Let's take a look at the updated results from last news hour. Take a look at your screen. 60% say voting record, 29% say accessibility, 8% say transparency, and 3% say community presence.
If you haven't voted yet, it's really easy to do, guys. Just go to coasttv.com or use the Coast TV mobile app, and we will show you updated results on Coast TV News at 11.
Businesses in Ocean City are gearing up for the summer season. That means preparing to employ foreign students known as J-1 visas. They work seasonal jobs, think seasonal restaurants, boardwalk shops, etc. The heightened immigration enforcement in the U.S. does have some wondering if it will be challenging to fill those critical positions in Ocean City's economy. But at a workshop today, the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce said she doesn't foresee any issues.
The numbers indicate maybe cautious optimism. I think that's a fair statement. I think everything's being examined right now, but there's a lot of data to indicate the economic impact of what this program does. I know our local employers could not staff to the levels they prefer if they did not have these exchange visitors coming. And it's good business to allow this program to be continuing as it is.
Now, the area normally expects about 3,000 J1 students every year there in Ocean City. Let's go ahead and take a live look outside into Ocean City as our First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams has a look at our forecast. Good evening, Paul.
Good evening to you. And we had a relatively mild day. Temperatures climbing into the 60s, 65 for the high in Georgetown as well as Ocean City, 63 for the high in Salisbury, 66 for the high today in Cambridge. Overall, we have one frontal boundary that's pushed through. We actually had a brief, or let's call it a cameo appearance of a severe thunderstorm that rumbled quickly its way throughout Ocean City and near Fenwick Island. That warning has been allowed to expire, and it's out in the a marine warning. Now we look at a trough that's pushing through that's going to aid in enhancing the opportunity for very gusty winds as we deal with gale wind warnings around the coast and very blustery conditions throughout the inland areas, Maddie.
On your screen now is where a new development in Georgetown could be built. It's at the intersection of Zor Road and Sussex Pines Road. Georgetown Town Council had its first reading of the ordinance that would rezone that property. As CoastTV News reporter Anna Sophia Roman shows us, this would effectively make way for more homes on the same land.
More lots on the same amount of land, it's all part of a plan from Greyway Developers LLC to meet housing demand in Georgetown. The group wants to get 16 lots that are currently zoned as neighborhood residential, cut them up and get them rezoned to urban residential where they could build 78 single-family homes. Developers say the smaller lot size will keep these new homes more affordable. Hannah Hopkins has been working in Georgetown for about 10 years and says even though the town is really crowded, they need more housing.
It would be a good way to go because we have a lot of people here and we definitely need more housing for ones that can't afford the more expensive ones that are coming up now.
This is the sketch from the developer. It shows the land under the current rules, and this new sketch shows how they want to change things. As you can see, there are a lot more houses in the newer proposal, but with more houses comes more traffic. Hopkins says even though the traffic won't be a problem for her, she does worry about delivery drivers that work with her and take these roads a lot.
It would really affect them because it would hold them up and slow them down.
It's yet another example of the push and pull between meeting the demand for more homes and the desire for keeping things the way they are. A Georgetown resident shared during Monday night's town council meeting that developing these parcels will be beneficial as it will bring more revenue for the town. This ordinance is open for public comment until the next town council meeting. The second reading and potential adoption is scheduled for April 28th. In Georgetown, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
Staying in Georgetown, Council gave the green light on the return of Food Truck Tuesday. It hasn't been held since 2019 and was put on pause after the pandemic. 4 trucks would come to East Market Street on 2nd and 4th Tuesday between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. That is between May and August.
On your screen now is the entrance to Nassau Commons Boulevard in Lewis off of Route 9, and it's going to close for the next 2 months due to construction. The project of that road includes a full roadway reconstruction, water main upgrades, and storm drain installation. But some worry about backing up that increasingly busy connecting road that's between Route 9 and Route 1 in the summer season.
If it backs up traffic on 9, that's more inconvenient, but other than that, I'd rather they do it right maybe the first time.
Now, note, DelDOT says this is not their project, but the agency is planning on installing a new traffic light at the intersection of Nassau Commons and Route 9.
New tonight, a survey by Salisbury University students finds litter is an issue for many living in Wicomico County. 93% of the 700 surveyed agreed roadside litter is a problem in Wicomico County. The survey found that people want more drop-off centers and locations, specifically the recycling drop-off that was once at the Civic Center. We spoke with somebody who helped spearhead the study, who says data can really push forward change and possibly new litigation.
We've had mattresses and all sorts of things picked up, tires and pounds of litter. And so that was not surprising whatsoever. 93% of Wicomico responses saying that roadside litter is a problem. That's in alignment with what we see just driving by on the side roads.
The data will be presented to the Wicomico County Council.
And we're just getting started this evening.
A new chief of police for the Ocean City Police Department, when he'll take the oath.
And we may not be in Chicago, but we are about to become the Windy City for the rest of the night and tomorrow. More on blustery conditions coming up.
But first, building revitalized, how a Milford landmark is getting a new lease on life. We have that story for you in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
This historic firehouse will soon be a new place to call home in Milford.
The building on North Church Street has served many purposes over the years, but has been empty for about a decade. As Coast TV News reporter Emma Aiken shows us, the building's history now lays the foundation for a more connected future.
A more than 100-year-old building in Milford. It's the former Carlisle Firehouse, but soon it will be 15 workforce apartments. That means rent is income-based and only available to qualified applicants.
Basically, it's because if you build apartments in Milford, you're going to have them occupied. You don't have to worry about, having an empty building. Commercial, it's a little riskier.
That's Dan Bond, who's managing the project. He says this is revitalizing an important piece of the city's history.
The building is structurally in very good shape. So it'd be a shame to tear it down. In fact, it'd be very expensive to tear it down.
The old firehouse parking lot will go from gravel to grass, where it will become a pocket park right along the river for the new people that will live here. Bond says there will be 15 parking spots, a mix of 1- and 2-bedroom apartments, and the whole building will be wheelchair accessible. Milford local Victoria Pitts likes the idea.
I think it's actually pretty cool. I think it's something that we need around here.
Construction will hopefully start in June, and these apartments, which may be called the Firehouse Apartments, should be ready in a year, according to Bond. A century after it first served the city, the old Carlisle Firehouse is ready to answer a new kind of call, turning history into home. In Milford, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
Here's a look at your golf forecast. Listen, tomorrow, if you thought today was windy, tomorrow is going to be even windier. Extremely blustery, 58 degrees. Skyline is looking beautiful. However, it's been a bit blustery today, and we're expecting the same windy situation on Wednesday. Say windy and Wednesday 3 times in a row. I challenge you. All right, so take a look at Lewis. Currently, we're at 64 degrees with the winds out of the north, 16 miles per hour. Now, we are going to stay clear for the rest of the night, dropping down to 53 degrees by 10 o'clock. Temps right now in the 60s, pretty universal throughout the entire viewing area. 63 not only in Bethany Beach as well as Rehoboth, but we're also holding at 63 degrees in Georgetown as well as Seaford. Winds a concern. We had wind gusts up to 33 miles per hour. For example, in Georgetown, 36 mile per hour wind gusts as a maximum recorded and tracked in Cambridge. A couple of other areas we've been tracking, 35 mile per hour wind gusts recorded in Slaughter Beach, 31 mile per hour wind gusts, Harrington as well as Adamsville, Milford, 25 miles per hour, Prime Hook, 20 miles per hour. Gale wind warnings, which means we're watching out for 40 mile per hour winds for Slaughter Beach, Broadkill Beach, Lewis Beach, Rehoboth Beach, by the way, as well, all the way down towards Ocean View, Fenwick Island. That stays in effect until 2 o'clock Wednesday morning, but not only just there, but also over towards Cambridge near Algonquin, as well as Castle Haven and Cornerstone. And then the inland areas, we have an active wind advisory. Now, the wind advisory is a little different from the gale wind in that it's not quite as powerful. Watching out for about 30 to 35 mile per hour winds throughout the inland area. So we're looking at 30 mile per hour winds, Georgetown, Seaford, Laurel area, But Lewis Beach, Rehoboth Beach, Ocean View, Fenwick Island, that right there where the beaches are located, that's going up to like 40 to 45 mile per hour winds. And that's the difference between the two, just in case you were wondering about that. Now, we do see some light scattered showers floating to our south. We had a cell that briefly prompted a severe thunderstorm warning for about 20 to 25 minutes near Ocean City, Fenwick Island. That has now expired. We're not expecting any additional storms that just pop in on us uninvited for dinner. We have 20 mile per hour wind gusts coming out of the west-northwest in Rehoboth Beach right now, 27 mile per hour wind gusts recorded. Millsboro. Here's our expectation. By 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're going to see winds push directly out of the west. 24 mile per hour wind gusts for us in Georgetown. But by the time we get to, let's say, 6:30, that's when we're going to upgrade to about nearly 40 mile per hour winds out of the west-northwest for the entire Delmarva Peninsula, our entire viewing area. Then it'll die down a little bit later. For the breakdown of our expectations for tomorrow, we are going to warm to about 58 degrees, but we're still going to have 17 mile per hour winds at the very least. So it's not going to feel like 59 in Millsboro, Laurel, or in Seaford, although that's the high we expect. We're not going to feel like that in Cambridge or Vienna, and we're going to lose our ground in other areas as well. So we're going to have temperatures in the 50s and 60s along the entire beach area. Ocean City, 59 and sunshine on Thursday. But then by the time we get to Lewis on Thursday, sunshine and the winds will finally die down by then. Here's a look at your extended forecast.
All right, Paul, thank you. New tonight, Ocean City is about to have a new chief of police, but a familiar face. Raymond J. Austin started as a seasonal officer in 1991, worked his way up through the ranks, and even graduated from the FBI National Academy. After retiring in 2022, he's now returning to lead the force. OC says he'll take the oath of office May 5th.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
What's going on, sports fans? We've got college lacrosse on the Delmarva Sports Network tonight, and this local team looks to keep their perfect season alive. The undefeated Salisbury Seagulls take on St. Mary's tonight at 7 p.m. The Seagulls have been dominant all season long, outscoring their opponents 17-7. As for St. Mary's, they are 7-5. Looking to get back in the win column after falling to number 17 Dickinson 14-11. Face-off will be on the Delmarva Sports Network at 7 p.m. And we're just over a week away from a new season of our ongoing docuseries Into the Trenches. This time, we're heading to the home of the Cape Henlopen Vikings as they embark on a new voyage into their 2024 football season. Let's take a sneak peek.
The late run last season, and then trying to explain that we're a different team.
You got to work harder because you went to the state ship, because there's a target on your head.
Understanding the stresses that these kids are under it's a little bit unique for me.
The expectations are high.
You're gonna practice the way you play.
We can push even further this year and hopefully make a run for it again.
Into the Trenches, a new voyage. April 24th at 7:30 on the Delmarva Sports Network and DSN Plus. Sponsored by Preston Automotive.
That over sports. Have a great night, everybody.
Easter is right around the corner, and you can start your Sunday with music and meaningful conversation if you celebrate right here with our sunrise sermons. Services begin at 7 on Coast Country, 9:30 on Delmarva Sports Network, and 10:30 here on Coast TV.
Milford view, courtesy of our Bay Health camera, at 61 degrees. We have temperatures expected to fall to the lower 50s and clear skies by 10 o'clock. We are looking at wind advisory that's going to kick in for us, stays in effect at least until 8 o'clock for this evening from Millsboro, Frankfort, Selbyville, Lowe's Crossroads, Gumboro, Bryan Store, Laurel, and those areas. Watching out for 30 mile per hour wind gusts. Gene Waters of Rehoboth, congratulations. You're our umbrella winner, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. It's been updated for you, sponsored by the law offices of Bruckstead, Mandalis, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We're going to go from 60, windy 60, so it's really going to feel like 40, I must say. And then we're going to go up to 63, a genuine 63 by Thursday, and then warm up nicely to 71 on Friday, and a real treat on Saturday with a high of 81.
All right, Paul, thank you, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.